Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. Years ago, I seen an episode of The Cosby Show that made me scratch my head. And decades later, I still scratch my head on it. So, Rudy, as a little girl, and her friends, who were also little girls, um, had this I Don't Like Boys episode. And they even had a song. I forget the song. Actually, I haven't seen it in a while, but they had a song, and it was blah 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 blah. I hate boys, and you know this, thus, and so. And then um, Cliff was like, "Oh, okay, that's I guess that's fine." And then later in the episode, they talked about how they were going to go to the mall to see them, to see some boys. And then the whole plan was to go and ignore them. And I was thinking like, wow, that's weird. And keep in mind I'm around the same age as Keisha and I'm Pulliam. So it's like, okay, that's very strange. And then you dismiss it and move on with life. And then years later, you start to see that pattern of behavior play out. You start to see this whole I am going to go to where I am seen by men just to ignore them or just to reject them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, huh, this is fascinating behavior because for one, it shows that they never really grew up, meaning that the mental state that they had at that age hasn't changed in their 40s. They just didn't grow up. They still play the game that they played when they were 10 years old. So I found that fascinating. And when I review the main video of today, we're going to get into that. But first, I want to announce this. First of all, hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. So this, what's his name? Floyd situation is continuing. People are talking about it. Apparently, when I got in, it was just a tip of the spear. People are talking about it. Skyler has now rejected all of Rio, and he isn't going back. And I find that to be just wild. But and he's buying a home in here in the states because it's just wild. I gotta say, it's wild. So I'm going to subscribe to his personal website, Phantasm. I was actually a Patreon member, but then his thing was removed. I was going to sign on to Phantasm. I just hadn't got around to it. So this is the perfect time to do so. And I'm going to find out more about what's going on the ground level there because I'm curious. Now, it's because it's something that's behind his paywall. I won't be able to share it with you. But nevertheless, I am curious. That being said, there will be a part two on this whole why I am not a passport bro thing because and this isn't me on some I told you so stuff. This is just me understanding behavior patterns. Hold on right quick. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, it is so that's what I'm going to do. I gotta follow up on that because and I'm not trying to I never want to discourage people from becoming it, but if you're going to have an organization, there's certain things you have to check off before doing so. But we'll get into that in the next video. So, future announcement there. Look forward to that video. Now, want y'all to pay attention to your screen. I'm going to go over some TikToks. Now, just so I can have some more context on this phenomenon. Well, I wouldn't even call it a phenomenon, but on this pattern of behavior, just so I can have more of that. I went to TikTok and found something interesting. I want to get women's perspective on why they do it. And when I search, all I could find is women playing, showing their facial expression while rejecting men to copywritten music. That's it. That's all they have to say on it. Okay, that's weird, but I don't expect anything less. Hit the like button. Hmm. Okay, it's
I truly believe most women go to bars and clubs to reject men to kind of like have their revenge at the last man that did them dirty. Like I've seen it so many times. I'm not gonna
okay. I'm gonna stop right here. Um, he's a little green to red pill ideology and understanding of woman nature to think that it has to be for revenge because he's a man and the way we think, we all of our actions have some rationale for the most part. Our actions have rationales. So he's trying to rationalize this particular action, but there really doesn't need to be a rationale with women. They could just do stuff because it feels good to do it. And that's likely what's at play here. There need be no my uncle touched me or my boyfriend left me. There really is no need for all that for them to just go get dressed up, spend a whole hour just to make up their face, um, just to sit around and get and reject guys. They don't have to have a reason.
lie. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say I don't I get rejected, but I be seeing just random guys in the bars and the clubs. They get rejected. I'm like, no weird shit, but these guys ain't ugly. And then sometimes when I'm standing near them, I hear the conversation. I'm like, no, this is going the way it's going. Like this a vibe. I could tell they vibing, and the woman would still reject them. And I only know why some women go out to reject men is because it makes them feel good. They really feel like they're getting a get back, even though they're not getting back at the last dude or dudes that played them.
There's no
They're
get back.
just
They're doing it
making
just
somebody
because.
else feel bad. And these women kind of have a look to them too, but sometimes you could be wrong. So if you see a woman shooting her shot at you with the little eye thing, listen, don't be afraid to pull up and approach. All right. You miss the shot, so you don't take. All right. Don't miss that shot, but just be aware. I truly
Okay, they do that because it defeats their ego to do it, while they don't have to risk anything. I mean, the approach alone feeds their ego, but shooting you down means that they don't have to risk later rejection. And once again, this is me giving a rationale to it, but it's really just completely irrational behavior. So before there was Instagram and all this stuff, and online dating through swipe apps like Tinder, which made rejecting easy and fun for women. Before that existed, there were what's it called? There was a website called Hot or Not. I think that was the name. Um, Hot or Not, where just as it sounds, a person, male or female, put their picture up, and you and viewers get to select hot or not. So they click left for hot, right for not, or something like that. There was a woman, white chick, that I worked with that went to that website and just clicked not on everybody, just cause. Like every man that was there, she just clicked not. Like she looked for like a third of a second. For point 0.3 of a second, she would look not. Now, this isn't a dating site. This She's not even, you know, getting the validation of these guys trying to get at her. She just did it just cuz, and she was an attractive woman. They get off on rejecting you, on destroying your ego. I don't know why. I didn't make them this way. They just are who they are. Let's read some comments because this first one intrigued me. I believe her name is Conceited Kaya. Oh crap. Okay. It says we are not allowed to say no. Now keep in mind somebody with the name like that, Conceited Kaya, really wants to justify her ego. And the only justification that she has, because let's face it, from the thumbnail, she don't look spectacular. But the only justification that she has for having any ego at all is that she has a vajayjay, and guys want to put they panene in that, and that's always going to be the case. And if all they have to do is swipe right to do it, or step two to do it, then they're going to at least make that attempt. Now, most of these guys, if not all, are going to back off anytime that they have any real effort. But the moment they step and she steps back, her ego is validated and she can now call herself conceited. We're not allowed to say no. Okay. It's it's kind of, imagine a company. Imagine if you have like an ice cream shop. Or no, imagine if you have a dry cleaners and you put on a now hiring sign, and you even go further to say, you know, we pay twice minimum wage, which is probably what the job would typically pay. Desperately looking for dry cleaners, will pay double, the going rate for dry cleaners. And you put the advertisement out there, and then you have the people come in and interview. They waste their time. They could be looking for jobs elsewhere, they could be interviewing elsewhere, but instead they are, they're interviewing with you, and you're just sitting there shooting them down because you like shooting them down. And then if somebody says something like, "What? I have a right to not hire people." It's like, yes, we understand that. But you are engaging in idiotic behavior by doing this. You're being a disruptor. Once again, as annoying as legally possible. As long as, people like her have the right to do something that's disruptive, destructive, and just downright cruel and annoying, they'll do it because they have a right to. And that's what happens when you give certain people who are not used to having rights all of a sudden. Hit the like button. Let's read some of the replies. Apparently, we have to say yes to everyone. Oh, yeah, okay. Because the opposite of what I just described is saying yes to everyone. Then they'll shame us later. Her name is Lemonhead. Okay. Indeed. Let's see. This, you can say no, but how would you deal with it if you tried to talk to a guy and he rejected you? I would say okay and leave them alone. No, you would not. I can tell you that much. No, you would not. You would be on TikTok like you are now, talking about, where are the good men's, or ninjas are gay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And probably something about black men, even if the guy who rejected you wasn't black. So let's not go there. Everyone isn't going to like you. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but I would never feel any type of way about it. Yeah, okay. Well, you certainly wouldn't feel conceited about it. All right. Um, Walk away like a normal person. Why are we talking about reject? Why are we talking about a man's reaction to rejection? Okay, I'll read a couple more comments and I'll move forward. Somebody watch him. And so rejecting men would be getting revenge on exes. How? It doesn't have to make sense. You're talking about women. I mean, just the concept alone of, you know, um, punishing another man for one man's behavior, punishing a man who likes you. Excuse me, punishing a man who don't like you through a man who likes you is just ridiculous. All right, let's move on. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. All right. Let's see. Once once again, all these one they just have they're just talking to music. Well, maybe there's some exception, but I click so many of them and they're just like talking through copywritten music that okay. But the men are actually saying stuff, so I'm gonna click on them. Let's see what this one has to say. What just happened? I clicked on one person. This happens on TikTok from time to time. I can't stand that. Clicked on one person and another person came up. Let me do that. Actually, I haven't really started commenting yet, so never mind. All right, let's see. Go ahead and comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to you on this. This is weird. Okay, but so what we're dealing with is a group of people who are addicted to validation. It's an addiction to them. They have to, and unfortunately, it requires, in order to get it regularly from multiple sources, it requires a lot of rejection. And they're doing it. And keep in mind that the greater the rejection, the greater the dopamine hit. Meaning that if you reject a homeless person, that's like, huh, okay. That's nothing. But if you reject a billionaire, then it's like, yeah, yeah, I shot him down because I got it like that. And it gets the added bonus of being able to quote unquote humble a man. All right, let me go back to TikTok. It seemed to be working now.
Can find out and discover the true character and personality of a man is when he is rejected and told no.
Hmm.
In this case, when he is rejected and told no by a woman. Now, this is all coming from the perspective of a straight guy in his late 30s
Hmm.
who is pretty cognizant of his fellow men and just really pays attention to what's going on, has a good sense of self awareness. So I think I know what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
There are too many men out there, not all of them, but too many of them, who cannot handle rejection and being told no by a woman when they are trying to ask her out, court her, holler at her, whatever.
Okay. The existence is there. The existence is there. However, it is almost negligible to where it's not. It's barely worth even mentioning those very few guys. And here's why: guys have a very, very, very low success rate. Now I know you're going to get particularly game dudes or guys who are on that bull, who just like lying to people, saying that they have a success rate out of like 8 out of 10. It's like okay, which is something that is either simply not true or is only the case where they are exceptionally attractive and they dealing with exceptionally unattractive women and they have a high success ratio doing that, or they only deal with women who make it clear that they are not going to reject. Those are the only ones that have like an extraordinarily high success rate. The rest, it's, let's just say, under 50%, because hey, you are the man if you sleep with half the women you talk to, or half the women that you want to sleep with. You are doing something spectacular. So most is less than 50%. Now, if you are used to having like less than a coin toss rejection ratio, you don't really have it in you to crash out over half the time. You just don't. Most guys are not blowing up when they get rejected because we get rejected all the time. That's just part of being men. So miss me with this foolishness that there's this, that they're just like, oh, there's a blow up, and the women know this too. They don't math, but they know that, you know, 100 guys talk to me, and one of the guys blew up. It's like, okay, so yes, 1% of the guys out there that you have spoken to decided to blow up. That's not commonplace at all, ever. Let's see what he has to say. And this is 10 minutes long, so I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
The moment they are told no, and they might initially come off all sweet and kind to the girl, but the moment they're told no, a switch is flipped. They go from 0 to 100 in the worst possible way in an instant because they can't deal with rejection, which to me shows a heightened sense of lack of security. They don't have a high sense of self-confidence. They are insecure little boys.
Yeah, the straw men that you're talking about are insecure little boys, I guess, and also the straw women. Basically, the straw man is just an artificially constructed person to fit a narrative. And because so he described the situation, and that's just the first minute and 39 seconds. He still has like 8 minutes to go, 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go, where he's going to, and I haven't seen this, but it seemed like he's going to use the remainder to just talk down on him because, this is him virtue signaling and blah, 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 blah. Listen, this is a straw scenario where a woman is perfectly polite in her rejection and the guy just blows up anyway. Maybe because he requires medication. Who knows? That is something that is not commonplace. Once again, if it were commonplace, then guys would be blowing up all the time. Or there would be one guy blowing up on over 50% of the female population because, you know, like, oh, I can't believe you politely said no, thank you, as if he never heard it before. So once again, this dude, he's virtue signaling to compensate for the fact that he does not have hair. And this isn't me shooting at the bald brothers of the world, but you got to do something in this competitive marketplace. All right. So, um, yeah. Anyway, let me find the next person who let's see. Okay, let's see what this guy has to say. This white guy. I haven't seen this, so I'm just gonna review a couple of these and then get into the main topic. Hit the like button as you come in.
vulnerable with all of you. It's a scary thought. This has been ruminating my head for the past few weeks. And I know a lot of you, both women and men, will absolutely relate to what I'm about to say. And that is, I have never been able to get the woman that I really wanted, that I deeply, deeply desired in my gut and my intuition. And yes, I've been in long term relationships and we equally liked each other, but there's only been one, two women in my entire life where from the get go, I was like, I would marry you today. And that's a scary thought because I don't want anything less for my future wife. But every single time that has happened, I've given that energy and I've had that thought where I look.
Okay. Like I say, I haven't seen these. So this guy here, he's talking about something else. He's talking about like he hasn't had a firework situation with the girls that he has been with. So yeah, that's that. Actually, let's take a look at this guy. This is interesting. Okay, just by the look of this guy, I want to see what he has to say because you'll know you'll understand what I mean when I show him. Okay, so I never seen a black man with his hair like that, including the beard and the whole chin strap with no mustache thing going on that he has there. And this isn't me clowning. This is just an observation. Like I've never seen that on a American black male human. I haven't. I've seen it on like an Irishman, and I think that's it. So I'm kind of curious if he's a leprechaun or not, and on what he has to say. So let's see.
I'm gonna get rejected. Why is it that every girl I approach has a boyfriend? Why is it that every girl I approach says, I don't give out my number, but you can follow me on Instagram? And then when I do follow them, I DM them and then they leave me in the request box. Like it doesn't matter what I do, I'm gonna get rejected. And this is how you know I'm getting rejected a lot, because I can tell you everything they about to say. No, I'm good. I got a boyfriend. I don't give out my number, but you can follow me on Instagram. My boyfriend kill people. I'm gay. We good. Or they just gonna keep walking and act like they don't hear you. And I know what y'all thinking. Oh, you just need a haircut. No, I get the haircut and still get rejected. I'm just ugly. But at the end of the day, this is why I'm trying to become rich and famous. So I could get any girl I want. Because you really got what I wanted to say was it doesn't matter what I do, I'm gonna get rejected.
My bad. I think that's a COVID mask. I think he's wearing a black COVID mask on his ear. Um, and this is why the red pill exists. I personally don't know if he's ugly or not. Really don't care. Because if he were, then he logic would dictate that he would have access to reasonable access to equally ugly women. Um, he looked better than O'Shea Duke Jackson, but so does everyone. So I'm going to go out on a limb to say that he needs the red pill. And he needs the red pill to understand that um, sometimes women just do it just to do it. They just do it because they can. Somebody says my BF unalive people. Yeah, I've heard that one. I don't care. When I was his age, I didn't care. I didn't care about stuff like that. And yes, I did smash women who, and in some cases it was true. Some cases it was true. They were actually locked up for that. The thought of them getting released from jail and coming after somebody who used to smash his chick while he was locked up is just so unfathomable to me that I would just assume continue to smash. Like when you're young, you think like that. At least I did. All right. But anyway, what they actually want, part of the thrill, part of the sensation is that they want you to feel less than. They want to invoke insecurity in you just because. Okay, this guy says, why do men reject marriage? So I'm going to ignore that one. Let's see. Why you reject love? Okay, so we're straying far from topic, but since we're off topic, I'm going to listen at this brother with his. Okay, let's see what this guy has to say. I actually clicked it and somebody else came up, but let's see what this guy has to say. Curious. Y'all hit the like button. After this guy, I'll read some of your comments so I don't get too far behind.
That lets you know that that woman understood what your intention was and she didn't want it. That is a good thing. I'm gonna tell you why. Because there are literally times, and you only notice if you got experience. You could miss a shot and make it later. I say it one more time, and I'm very passionate about this because y'all know I'm Mr. Marinating Game. Let your game marinate. What's the rush? You know what I'm saying? Let your game marinate. You could miss a shot, and that woman's entire opinion of you could change. The circumstance of her life could change. She could have been talking to somebody. She was thinking she was going to get in a serious relationship, and things changed. God, any shooter knows this, bro. You can get rejected by a woman and get her a day later, a week later, a month later, a year later. And it's not like you're waiting for her, but it's just like, just imagine you shot your shot, you let it be known, you flirted with her, your intentions were clear. So then when she comes back around you, flirting back with you or talking to you, it's like, hold on now, sis.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because well, it's almost over anyway. Um, that falls under the category of extraordinarily low probability, and it's not even worth exploring the possibility. He might be a game dude and he's might like, oh, I'm kicking knowledge. And this is just to encourage men who are discouraged by the modern dating market to continue to try. Like, nah, get back out there because if you get rejected, tomorrow she might be into no, no. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying that it is extremely unlikely to happen, especially the next day. Like, I mean, it is possible. It is extremely possible that you'll see her again like down the line somewhere, especially if the two of you stay in the same city, and you have reasonable routines. And also it's possible if you met her under circumstances that y'all do regularly. Like, you hit on somebody at church and you see her next Sunday. Even with that, it is extremely ill probable. First of all, okay, put it like this. It's not going to happen if it wasn't going to happen anyway. And here's what I mean by that. Let's just call her Tanisha, right? Game Changer meets Tanisha. He shoots his shot, and gets shot down. Like, okay, it happens, move on. And then let's just say 2 months later, I see Tanisha and she's in a different mood. And she actually is interested. And for whatever crazy reason, I shoot my shot again, right? Which he's not mentioning that part. You would literally have to shoot your shot twice and risk being, a harassing creep and being exposed on TikTok. Like, dang, I just told you no 2 months ago. But let's just say for some crazy reason, Game Changer decides to shoot a shot again to Tanisha, and um, and she says, yes, I was going through, it was my cycle last time, but today I'm ready. Today I'm ready and I'm interested in you. Guess what? That is possible, but you would have gotten the same result had you not approached initially. Let me repeat that. You would have gotten the same result if you had just approached the second time and not the first. You just caught her on a good day, and approaching her initially doesn't really help with the good day. And this isn't me trying to discourage approaching. This is just me saying that what dude is saying, I don't know where he's going with that. I don't know if he's trying to give some de facto game or something like that. But Yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't get your hopes up on that. Like, oh yeah, maybe down the line, blah 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 blah. Um, have I in my personal life had situations and dealings like that? Yes. These were always situations where um I got her information and it didn't go far. So it wasn't a clear rejection. Okay, to land a plane, whatever you want to call it, to plow the field, y'all know what I'm talking about. Bow chicka wow wow. In order for that to happen, not only do you have to meet her and introduce her on a good day, you actually, when you first call her, it has to be a good day. And when you set up the date, it has to be a good day. And when you go on the date, it has to be a good day. You really have to hit all the marks. So just because you um get her number, that's still, it's still, not likely that anything will transpire. So the only times that it did happen for me is when I got so far and then caught her on a bad day and just completely ignored her. And then just all of a sudden I seen her out the blue again. And then you sometimes will get the benefit of picking up where you left off. But if you left off nowhere, highly improbable. Highly improbable. Somebody said he is a game dude. Okay, you know him better than me. All right, so let me read some comments and maybe do a couple more of these before we get into the main event. All right. It says, I mean, either these dudes with high success rates are, or these females actually don't have high body counts. You can't have them both. Either there are dudes with high success rates, or these females actually don't have high body counts. Okay, here's the thing about that. Um, when I say it's rare, that's exactly what that means. So if you're saying that I question the existence of these dudes, no, I do not. If you're saying that, however, since it only takes a few of these dudes to give thousands of women high body counts, then blah blah blah. But you're bringing up an argument that I never made about the female population of high body counts. So I don't even know how to approach this. But good luck on future games of gotcha. All right. Anyway, let's move to the next one. He got the owl. Oh yeah. Well, turns out that wasn't his beard. I mean, I thought it was. I thought it was weird, but yeah. All right. It says, I had to rock that before my mustache actually grew in. It sucked. Well, I would just shave the beard. Um, yeah, I would just shave the beard. My mustache came in before my beard did. And my sideburns didn't grow in until, like, I couldn't do a chin strap until like after 40, and now I don't even want to, because so many face hiding dudes like Anton Daniels is just out here on some Rick Ross stuff, and I guess that's the cool thing to do, to be a Black Hills Angel. So uh, I'm not really with that. I don't even know if I can grow a beard. I just shave. All right, it says, that's the thing. That's the thing. He got there doesn't help. Okay. I'm good. It's brutal. Elaborate on that. I'm curious. What's brutal? The mating market. It is. It is. I mean, hopefully, understanding that it's not personal. It's just business, or it's just emotional fulfillment for them. Helps. But if not, I understand. Protect your psyche. All right. Says, to be honest, the amount of single mothers I've encountered that have a criminal baby daddy is astounding. Yeah. Yeah. So, um, that is a thing. Uh, largely, and I know that this is off topic, but largely it's because they want to be single mothers. And um the more stable a guy is, the less ability they have to become single mothers. Take lead attorney, for example. He is an attorney. You actually have to fight tooth and nail to get full custody and then get on welfare and get all the benefits of being, primary caregiver. You actually have to fight. It's an uphill battle. He graduated with a class full of lawyers just like himself. He knows the game. He might even know the judge. So yeah, it's better to not do it there. It's better to, you know, if your goal is to be a single mother, it's better to do that with somebody with one foot in jail, because there's no contest. Even if you do try to fight, it's like, oh no, he been to jail. He been to jail for, you know, this, and this. And then there you go. I remember, and this really stuck in my mind. And I thought it was the saddest thing ever because it didn't happen to me. And I don't even think it was on some race stuff, even though dude was black. This happened like in the early 2000s. And before that, I went to the courthouse for various things. Always traffic related. One time I went there and I had my mustache scissors in my pocket. I didn't think anything of it. And, the officers there, when you take it through the metal detector, he just said, well, you can't take this in there with you, but it'll be here when you come back. I was like, all right, bet, not a big deal, not a big deal at all. Same if as I did something like that at the airport, they probably just toss it. So I was at the courthouse and like fighting a ticket or something, and then there was a trial before me. Now this dude was full orange jumpsuit, and he was behind, like, they had like a little cage area that you keep actual people in, actual offenders. And I was like, dang, what homie do, right? So I'm there and I'm hearing the case. So apparently he went to child support court and he works in a warehouse. And he was in a rush, he was running late. So he runs in there and he had kept a box cutter on his person when he went in. And um And instead of, for like me with the mustache scissors, instead of for saying, we got to hold this, we'll give it back to you when it's done, when you're done, you know, they decided to arrest him. And I'm thinking like, wow, was I that close to to getting arrested? And here's the thing, and I noticed because this really stuck with me. He the legal thing is 4-inch blade. And I don't know if that's even 4 inches when a box cutter is fully extended, but apparently they would count the side, the part of the box cutter that's inside the plastic. I don't know. It's weird. I'm like, they are really trying to get this dude. And he had a lawyer, maybe a public defender, and his lawyer was saying, like, listen, the statute says 4-inch blades, and that's to carry. So really, anybody who has, if this were the case, then anybody who has a box cutter on them ever is carrying a concealed weapon. I was like, hey, this is a good lawyer. He had some good points. And then the ops they was bringing up stuff from the 80s. This was the early 2000s. They was bringing up stuff from the 80s. He was an OG, like he did this in the 80s. He did this in the 80s, and his lawyer was saying that he was going to child support court for good news. Like, he actually won his case. So why would he go with a box cutter on some vicious stuff? Whole thing was weird. And I'm thinking, like, It's good to not be Pookie. It's good to not be Pookie. Like, once society brands you as a dangerous black man, you gets no love. You gets no love. I didn't even think about it. I had the 4-inch blade for the mustache. Maybe it's 4 inches for the mustache trimmer. They just let me walk through. No, no problem. No, like, this is a nerd with a mustache trimmer. No problems. No, I didn't even think about it until the situation came later with homie. And I'm like, man. So these broads know it. They know it. And they understand that they got an easier chance of getting custody from homie that was behind the case. Oh, and the judge gave him time served. The judge realized that what happened was wrong, gave him time served, and that was it. Now, mind you, they didn't drop the charges. They just said that you served enough time. Really, they should have, dropped the charges, gave him some money and an apology. But, is what it is. So there's a reason for that. That was long winded, but there's a reason for that. They know it. They know what they're doing. I can't stand that dude. He hangs out with Steve the Dean and Lucario. Oh, so he's one of them. He's one of those. Okay, it makes sense that he was on that. Like, okay, it makes sense that he's part of the Steve Lucario crew. Yeah, I was picking up that vibe from him. I'm so done with this GD country. Okay. You mean if you see her again, you work with her, or she's at your gym? Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, you don't approach again because that's harassment. And I don't know if that's what this game dude is suggesting that you approach again, or she is he suggesting that she will approach you in the future, um, which is possible. Once again, highly unlikely. He's open to the reach back. Mm. Um, that's low interest. What's low interest? If she's second guessing you, don't even bother. Okay. I am gonna say this. Some women do reject out of habit. Reasonably attractive women get approached a lot, and then in this marketplace, unattractive women get approached a lot. So some women are, you know, I mean, if a woman rejects 99% of guys, then she just built up momentum. I mean, think about it. Like, how often do you actually listen to like a telemarketer sales pitch? You might hang up and be like, "Oh, actually, I really could use that." Let's just say American Express calls you with an offer for some, bonus miles. Now you hear telemarketers, and you're like, "Man, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that." It's like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. You got some extra frequent flyer miles if I use this amount within the next 3 months. Actually, I got a trip coming in 6 months. So yeah, like, so it's kind of like that. And yes, in that instance, you'll call American Express back, like, "Hey, wait a minute, what did you say? What was that again?" So yeah, there is a there. Exactly, not a strategy to live by. Just learn from that. Ish only works at jobs or school. Well, once again, at the job, well, for one, I wouldn't suggest anybody shoot their shot at the job. I would suggest that perhaps you give her each and every single opportunity to shoot her shot first. Um, but I wouldn't suggest that you shoot your shot first. Because then, if you shoot it twice, which is what he's suggesting, that actually is harassment. I'm not talking about like this, a stretch definition that modern liberal women has given the word harassment. I'm talking about you are actually harassing. She said no, and you're still going. You still know her personality and even click if you do to start talking to her. Okay, trying to crack abroad after being turned down the first time comes off as thirsty to most women. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like it's you're on some Steve Urkel stuff at that point. You know, I mean, I know Aaliyah said it, but uh, did she smash somebody who did that? Just saying. If first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself. I mean, and really, that's just a woman just trying to get hit on more, like because they want to reject you twice. But I mean, yeah, honest cooked is that dude name? Yeah, I hate that too. Okay. Um, that was like 20 years ago. LOL. I'm good now. No Rick Ross beard. Oh, okay. No, I'm joking. I mean, no, I don't. I'm not really against like the Afro face dudes. It's just something that's very new to me, coming of age in the '90s, and then where clean cut, deep waves, all that stuff was in. Um, maybe a goatee, and then all of a sudden, dudes want to just go, on some angry man crap. It's kind of weird to me, and since I'm not really in the mood to look for or follow modern trends, and it's not worth it, and I don't want my face to itch. So yeah, it's pretty much done. Okay. So yeah, yeah. I thought that there was some face hiding, and maybe it's wrong. Maybe people are just following trends. I was thinking that when, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna start off by saying this. Most of the God face people are at least the guys that women declare as God face, which I'm not. And I'm talking about like the Michael B's, the Idrises, the Denzels in his youth, and stuff like that. The Brad Pitts, the Johnny Depps, the Leonardo DiCaprios. I'm listing non Afro face dudes. I'm listing non Afro face dudes for a reason. Like when you have a God face, you just show it to the world. Like, like, yes, look at my face. And just like if you're an off shirt dude, you don't really see off shirt dudes in puff coats and sweaters. It's like I am an off shirt dude. They just walking in the snow with they abs out. It's like, yes, this is me. I am an off shirt dude. And then every time something happens, he takes his shirt off. At least that's what I would do if I were an off shirt dude, which I'm not. But if I was an off shirt dude, like oh, the new episode of Power is on, so let me just take my shirt off and it's time to watch some TV. Like, oh, DoorDash is here. Let me just take my shirt off and it's time to watch some TV, or it's time to eat some food. Like, oh, it's 7:30, huh? Okay, let me just take my shirt off. I would be looking for each and every single excuse. Like, excuse me, sir, can you get that mayonnaise off the top shelf for me? Like, yes, let me just take my shirt off and I'll do just that. Like, I mean, when you have it, you don't put it behind stuff. So the women or the guys who, and I'm calling out Lapeef Network, at least old Lapeef Network, because that's what I came to the conclusion. Like, why are these guys all beard faced? It. Um, I'm like, I wonder what's behind the beard. That's what I was curious. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Yes, it's an ego boost for them. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Giving choosing signal is also an ego boost. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And the more an ego is fed, the hungrier it gets. The larger it gets and the hungrier it gets. It's another form of bait and switch, absolutely. And I've seen it play out so many times, particularly with black women, and that's because um they're the most insecure. So they have a deficit that they have to feed. They have an ego deficit that they need to feed. Um, Once society labels you as a pookie, you get no benefits out. You get no benefits out the doubt. I get what you're saying. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a pookie, and I mean, I didn't even know how hard. It's hard out here for a pook. When I seen dude, I was like, they had this dude. Like, I'm talking like an actual criminal. Like an actual, I'm looking like, wow, they got you like you are actual criminal. Like you are an actual criminal when the last actual crime you did was literally like 30 years ago. And to get him there, it had to go through so many hands. Like it had to go to the DA's office, and the DA just, first of all, the cop had to just be on some ish, because the cop could have did the same thing to me, but he wasn't on some ish. The cop had to be on some ish. The the DA had to be on some ish. They had to look at this and said, "Yep, yep, he was gonna." And his lawyer even said that dude was even in like his warehouse gear. His job even gave like a character witness assessment of him. Like he's a good man, he's a good worker. He was off at this time, and he had to be at court at this time. He was in a rush. He get his job backed him, and they still looked at the case and like, nah, we gonna arrest this ninja. They do not play. They look at Pookie as an automatic win, as an automatic W. So yeah, I mean, hey, everybody. What's happening is everybody is preying on you, including and possibly, especially your baby mom, because remember, the court that he went to was a child support court. So she looked at him as easy pickings. The attention most dudes give to women in the act of shooting their shot is just giving away social currency. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, if you're just shooting your shot, I think it was Taz or somebody, maybe one of these game dudes that say you should be out there doing it like 50 times a day. You're cheapening yourself by doing that, and you're cheapening others by doing that. Just like a slut doing that, giving it up to 50 dudes a day. you know like, I mean, they don't cheapen themselves that way, because they want each individual encounter to be more valuable. That way you'll work harder for it. But they like, can I get your number, 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 thinking that don't diminish them and others like them is ridiculous, without the chick ever earning it. Exactly. And which is why I'm an advocate of beauty. I'm a beauty advocate. I do believe that beautiful women are better than not so beautiful women, and they are deserving of more, including my attention, including, easier access to my attention. That is part of the pretty privilege, which is something that is reserved for the pretty, not just some basic broad with a vagina. And as we likely know, no one respects free. Well put. Well put. But game dudes, it's not about respect. It's about bus. Anyway, as far as the crap treatment black women show towards black men who show interest, black women only do that because they falsely believe they cornered the market on black men. They've cornered the market on black men who exclusively and solely date black women. So that part is true. And it's really them that is treated like crap because they have cornered the market on you. That's why when they say, especially to me, and other quarter zip type dudes, um, they it's funny because I'm wearing a quarter zip now, and that's just by coincidence. Um, it's funny when they say that um, and they ask, "Do you only date white girls?" They're really saying, "Are you used to putting up with my crap?" And what are your options if you get tired of putting up with my crap? So yes, if you're on some Dr. Umar crap and you actually believe that crap, or you believe what Mama told you because Mama set you up for the okey doke and the rope a dope and the hope a nope, because they're basically like, are you conditioned to put up with this crap? And then once it's confirmed that you are, then they hit you with the whoop wop and the whoop wham, and the wham bam. No, thank you, ma'am. Anyway, one more of these, and then we will get into our feature presentation featuring the I find attractive Rivet TV. All right, so let's do one more of these because this is the one I was going to click earlier.
Do not be rude when you get rejected by women when you're approaching, because when you respond in a more positive light tone, like, oh, okay, that's awesome, I hope you have an awesome day, when you say something like that, she has respect for you. In fact, you might even get the Instagram still or the phone number. I've gotten them a couple of times, but it's because she sees that you're genuine, that you're not over here trying too hard. And when she sees that you're coming at this angle, when you're not putting too much pressure on her, you just kind of take it or leave it kind of attitude, she will chase you, she will lust after you. In fact, she will respect you, even if she doesn't accept at all, right? She will have respect for you because a lot of men just whistle blow. They just catcall, which gets them in the friend, not even in the friend zone. They don't get attention from the girl, all right? So if you want to stand out to women, especially when you get rejected,
Okay, so this is more advice. Do I agree that it doesn't really help you to lash out when you get rejected? Absolutely. I mean, but that's not really what this is about. So we're gonna move past this. Gonna move past this guy. Nothing against him, but and what he's saying is somewhat sound. Um, but don't be nice. Um, don't be don't be nice for the sake of you still holding on to hope that you're gonna, get it in. Be nice because you're a decent dude and you're not really upset at the situation. And of course, only do so if she's nice to you. All right. And we're going to talk about an instance where a woman is not too nice in her rejection. And this is an older woman. This is a woman who is, infinity years old. And um, yeah, going to get into that. So, okay, listen, none of this here. Let me just remove this. None of this foolishness here. Listen, a person is innocent until proven guilty. If they're proven guilty, then they should be punished for the crime that they commit, and that includes Floyd. So that's deleted. I don't listen. A person isn't innocent because they're black. I don't know why you thought that something like that is cool to say here, but I mean, because why? Because I said I don't know. Yes, I don't know. I mean, and that's the beginning and end of it. I don't know. If he's guilty, then he goes to jail. If he is innocent, then they will free him. There will be no need to say free him because he's didn't have a crime. So yeah. Um, Nevertheless, let me see what else you have to say. I dig it. The dude that look like they date other ethnicities, black women imply that those men are intimidating. Yeah, and that's because we are. I mean, we're not conditioned to put up with their crap. The only men listen. The only people that eat prison food is prisoners. The only people that eat prison food is prisoners. There aren't people who there aren't food trucks that drive by and serve you whatever the crap is that they have that they serve the prisoners. I don't even want to think about it. I seen there was like this mayor of somewhere, and he they had like this green bread that they was serving them, and this spoiled bologna. And I had a family member that was locked up. He said, whatever you get, it's the cheapest version of the thing it is that you're eating. Meaning that when you get bread, it's the cheapest bread that you can imagine. You're not getting Wonder Bread or even like Kilpatrick's. You're getting you're getting something that regular free folk don't eat. And it's made so cheap and solely for prisoners. So the only people who eat crap like that is people who are trapped in a situation to do so. And they understand that the only man that's going to put up with their crap are men who are trapped in that. So what do? They try to trap me. You don't need a condom. I'm on a pill. Trap. Oh, you mind if I pick up some mail at your address? Trap. They try to trap you. Because they're used to they feel, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that the only men that they could get, that men don't want to be with them, they have to be with them. So the only time they're going to get a man is if he has to be there. All right, let me bring up the lovely Riva TV, and then I'll play hers, read some comments, and then looks like I'm going to enjoy a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was raining last night. Oh, by the way, I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. And we're going to recover some of this Passport Bro stuff because apparently it's a thing now. All right, so all right. I don't like it when people like Shay Sade and Riva TV spell their names something different and weird. I don't like that. All right, let me see if I can find it.
How are you?
We just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington.
So I'm supposed to remember you. Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, do you remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade?
I was on a plane when I saw one.
Okay. So apparently this woman here decided to humiliate some poor schlub, and you are a schlub. Like the beard, the afro face. Y'all gotta understand something. There's signals that exist in the world. The way you present yourself signals something to certain people. I'm going to repeat that. The way you present yourself signals something to certain people. For example, I bought this went to the Dominican Republic, and I bought when I was in Santo Domingo, I bought a bracelet made of beads or something that I put on, not knowing that that bracelet was signaling to people. And you want to know the signal that it gave to everybody on the beach? Is that I buy shit off the beach. That's the signal. They like, oh, he buy beach shit. So which made it more aggressive, which made the vendors more aggressive. I didn't know this, but they like, oh, he's and sometimes people like some do, some don't. But some people don't even know I'm a tourist in Latin America. Some of them believe that I may or may not be just an Afro Latino. They don't know. But I'm walking around with the beads, and they know that locals don't buy souvenirs from the place that they live. So I gave a signal. I signaled that I am about that ish. What does the beard signal? The beard signal that you are trying to attract black women. Nobody else says that they want, a black man with a beard. In fact, when you think about interracial relationships, it's never an Afro-faced black dude, with a Becky or anything like that. It's just not. So you're signaling to Keisha, which this is, that I give exclusivity to you. And because of that signal, she seen an open opportunity to treat you like trash. And the same thing with, sagging and stuff like that, and gold teeth. There's really like a list of things that only Keisha pretends to like. And really, they're just pretending to like it. They just want you to do that because it signals to them that, okay, he's about that life. He's about this Keisha pussy. That's what it signals to them. And it means that she could treat you like crap and you're not going to go anywhere. As she did, as she demonstrated. Let's take a look.
Hello, how are you?
We just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington.
So I'm supposed to remember you.
So yeah. The and people in the background was laughing too, like, and then she just broadcasted. Can I tell you, like no, I want everybody to understand that this is happening.
This man just said, do you remember me?
From 6th or 7th grade.
Make me. He said we were in the same class in the.
He's wearing Adidas, which is he's wearing an Adidas sweatsuit. But um yeah, anyway, he's standing around for this. This man is used to being disrespected. This man is used to being disrespected. I'm not going to go into the backstory. I'm not going to go into the backstory of this chick that I thought was disrespecting me because I already told this story on my show. Um, of how I met her and everything like that. But we were cool people. We rode on the bus together every day. And then when I seen her in adulthood, um, during the summer when we both was home from college and she went to a different college than me, and she was working at the mall, I went up and said, "What's up?" And and uh, a woman walked by and she just said like all kind of foul shit like fucking bitch ass trick and or something. I don't know. I thought she was talking about me. Did I stand around and just for the dishes? No, I just walked away. She was like, "Oh no, I was talking about her." Like she called me before I left. She was like, "No, I was talking about her." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I mean, why are you just standing there like just be like, "Hey, she's on some ish." But so she read the signals right. He's used to disrespect. He's standing there for the announcement of disrespect. He's standing around for that. He's standing for the humiliation ritual.
In 8th grade. I don't
And then he's asking again, "Don't you remember me?"
remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
I was on the plane when I saw one
No self-respect. And that's why they ask, "Do you mess with white women? You look like you mess with white women." They're just inquiring if you have any freaking self-respect. Let's see what River TV has to say.
comment that read, "You better get off these comments, turn them off because we're coming for you."
River TV.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back.
I like that she's changed it up a bit. She classed it up a bit, but I do miss her tits. I do miss River TV's tits. I do. She had the small pokies, and I don't know. It really suited her. But it's good that she just went full jumpsuit turtleneck, and she is given like a classier appearance. Good for her. Good for her. If I want to see the pokies, I'll look at past videos.
Video. So I actually saw this video go viral on so many different platforms. Okay, apparently humiliated a man that was there to support her. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play, pause, and give you guys my opinion on this entire situation.
Hello, how are you?
You're just in the same class as 7th and 8th grade. Washington
So
Maryland.
I'm supposed to remember you.
You know what I mean?
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, "Do you remember me?"
From 6th and 7th grade.
Make it make sense to me. He said we were in the same class in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
So immediately, like everyone breaks out into laughter. Everybody is like, "Oh my gosh, ha ha ha!" She's the two of them were having a one-on-one conversation. She kind of props the conversation.
Yep. Yeah. And she decided to broadcast it. I mean, listen, yeah, it's a bit sad because it sends the message that you remember her and she don't remember you. Now, chances are she probably do remember you, but she's like, how, that's not going to humiliate him. She wants it to like, listen, You were a nobody in the sixth grade too. You were a nobody in the sixth grade. You wasn't worthy of remembrance then, and you're nobody now because you're at an event for me to praise me. Yeah.
Up so that everybody can be involved in like
When I was young, I'm not gonna say which one because that might help y'all gauge my age. But one of the Govan daughters, either Laura or Gloria, said that I was cute. Um, do I think that she will remember me? No. And do I really care? No. And if she was somewhere, even locally, and she's doing stuff to, I don't know, teach young women how to get basketball players, um, would I show up? No. So it is a bad look that he's doing this, but that doesn't, but it's also a bad look that you're trying to make him look bad or trying to make it worse than what it is. Trying to, like, yeah, he embarrassed himself a little bit, but you could just be like, oh, no, I didn't meet him and move on.
he then becomes like the laughing stock of the situation, basically. And he's still standing there, like, as
So she noticed it too, because she's a woman. And she knows that it's not a good look for you to still be standing there. You know, if you had any respect and if you had any, East Oakland upbringing in you, you'd walk away saying the too short favorite word, bitch. I mean, that's what you should have did.
serious as he is, because he wasn't joking, right? He wasn't trying to make a joke. He wasn't coming across to have a conversation and make it seem like it was.
Hold on, it's buffering. Somebody said all those hoes in junior high, me. But like you said, I was never a nobody. Matter of fact, they be asking if they can catch up later on. So, yeah, that happened to me too. I went to a high school that was far away from my junior high. It was in a different school district. So it wasn't many people who came from my junior high to my high school. Nevertheless, there there was some like later just in passing because you live in the same city, you go to the same concerts, you go to the same, you know, um, side shows, you go to the same events, you're going to run into people that you met in junior high, especially in your 20s, and you're going to recognize them because your face is very similar at that stage in life. So, yeah, I wasn't necessarily, I mean, I was a nerd. I've always been a nerd, but um, probably for that reason, I was more memorable because there were few black nerds. Um, there are few black nerds, so I was very memorable, and I used to roast a lot. So that was my niche in junior high. To where like if you played basketball or something like that, that would be your way of being remembered. Um, would I remember somebody in my 40s only if I knew their name first? Like only if like if I went to junior high with, let's just say, Alicia Keys, um, and Alicia Keys like just now got famous, I would remember her name. I wouldn't remember her face. And that's just the way my memory works. And I wouldn't expect anyone to do that with me either. So yeah, it is what it is.
recognizes her from his past, is obviously proud of her, knowing that she comes from where he comes from. And
You know what a better example would be? Kevin Samuels. If Kevin Samuels is his, first and last name, then yeah, I mean, they might not remember his face, but someone in it who went to junior high with him, like, oh crap, that's Kevin Samuels.
He's being serious.
Yes,
though.
he
Are you
is.
being serious? I do not. I'm sorry. No, that's not.
He's still come on now. Come on now.
Yeah. Hello. Okay.
so the guy is like, okay, yeah, cool, I'm out. Just walks away. Now, here's the thing, okay? She obviously video like a background video to basically explain, which we know that's usually the norm. Like somebody does something, it goes viral, they don't get the attention that they were anticipating that they would get, or they didn't know it would go viral to begin with, and then it goes out there, then they make the explanation video, which is what she did. Now, before we even get into the explanation, first thing I want to say is that immediately reminded me of when the radio host interviewed Michael B. Jordan, or attempted to, and he immediately brought up, like, aren't you the girl who used to bully me back in school?
We got Michael B. Jordan, the director and the star of Creed 3. And, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay? Right? No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say. I said we used to make fun of the name.
So, like...
Okay. So, in that instance, Michael B. was wrong. Michael B. was wrong. Because it was somebody. So she hosts this show called Listen to Black Woman, which is a stupid concept, but nevertheless, she hosts that show. And apparently, one of her guests said that he seemed like he was corny, and she was just saying no. She just found it ironic that his name is Michael Jordan and he can't play basketball, which is ironic. So she didn't really insult him, or she didn't call him corny. Someone called him corny on her show. And then Michael B. Jordan took it the wrong way. But one thing is clear with that whole exchange is that Michael B. didn't know her. Like, he didn't know her in high school or whatnot. And he's younger than this woman here. It's like somebody that I didn't know and think about because I was busy starring in The Wire, thought that I was corny. So I don't think that was his standing reputation. It's just like, okay, she is a nobody. But because he's a decent human being, he didn't make it a point to point that out. He's like, okay, you're somebody who is trying to live off the fame of others right now, and I'm that other. I'm that dude. You're a chick with different hair dye every week, and a waist trainer or a body shaper, hoping that everything will still be in place. Trying to eat off of his fame as much as you can. So yeah, she sucks as a human being, but she didn't do that. I'm not gonna put that on her.
That clip alone lets it, so like that clip alone, is obvious that people do remember people from.
Don't say people say better stuff. You my dude, King Picks, but I clown when people say stuff that's clownable. That's clownable. He should ask for some head. I hope you're not talking about Michael B. Jordan. It is beneath Michael B. Jordan to ask for head. You just I'm Michael B. Jordan. Head is implied. Hopefully you're talking about the man in the beard.
From school. They remember people from school, from elementary school. Like, I personally remember people from I don't know how many years ago, right? I'm not saying that I'm going to remember every single person or that everybody does remember people, but to spend 3 years consecutive with the same person in a class, you might have some kind of remnants of who they are, possibly, right? And so, for her to kind of like diminish it or make it seem like it was small-minded or foolish that he remembered her, it's kind of weird. Obviously she has like a big, bright personality. Clearly you see he's navigating around. She may have, stood out. And so that's why he remembered her. And again, somebody, knowing you for such a long time in your youth and you grow up and you be successful, maybe they might remember you more than them. But I think, there's a nicer way to kind of handle that dynamic, especially if you don't remember them. Now, also, okay, I personally, when I saw this clip go viral all over, when people sent it to me on social media, I had no idea who this woman is. Okay. And I figured there might be some people, like myself, who were trying to figure out, well, who even is she to even do this signing? Like, like, why are people gathered around to see this woman? Who is this? I am, from first glance, I thought that maybe she was a politician or whatever. I had no idea who she was. And so, based on my research, these are the things that I found out. So her father actually is a man. Her father actually was a man by the name of Frank Wilson, who was a songwriter, singer, and record producer for Motown Records. In her Instagram bio, she also has a hashtag the people's CEO, which is a tagline that people actually called her. She's a co-founder, owner, CEO.
Oh my gosh, that's her name. So when she said Flawn Weaver, because that's the title of this video, that's the title that River gave this. I thought that that's what she was calling her. I thought that that's like woman speak for talking bad about her hair. I thought that, but no, that's actually her name. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, let's move on. Bama alumni. I didn't know that there was a university called Bama. Because when people say that, and I'm assuming that is short for Alabama, it's not a compliment. But there you go. Oh, she's been married. She's married. Happy wife, 21 years of love. Okay, cool.
Of Uncle Nearest, as well as a 2 times New York Times best-selling author. Uncle Nearest, okay, is a premium whiskey. It has won world's most awarded bourbon from the years 2019 all the way to the years of 2024. Now, she named the whiskey off of a man by the name of Nearest Green, okay? Now, Nearest Green was the first known...
Look at what the... Look at his wife. Look at his wife. Y'all ever look at like a old black and white of your grandma and say, "Ooh, dang, she was bad back in the day"? They grandkids ain't saying that about this one. Whoa! Just saying.
African American master distiller in the United States. He was actually a former enslaved man who helped Jack Daniels actually cultivate Jack Daniels whiskey. So what she ended up doing was she basically like uncovered the history, found out that this, former enslaved man, black man, his history was there from him cultivating the whiskey, basically created foundations in this name, like, connected with it, his descendants, his great granddaughter, whatever the case is, and basically like reclaimed the legacy, right? So she was at a whiskey signing. That's exactly what the event was. It ended up being that she was at a whiskey signing.
Nearest, this signing is the biggest
signing Camp Creek has ever had, and we are pretty sure it is the biggest Georgia has ever had. So ATL, you showed up.
She was there to kind of like,
Maybe because I don't drink, I have trouble understanding exactly what's the. Yeah, I have trouble understanding what in the hell is going on there. Yeah, I'm taken back, and I'm actually taken back to a time where I was jogging and I walk I walk into a liquor store to get some water, and there was this attractive white chick in a referee uniform, and she was passing out flyers. She was like, "Do you drink it?" I said, "No, I don't drink." And then I just went past because I want to keep my momentum up. Um, and I went to the wall, and then I turned around, and it was like this gorgeous black woman in a evening gown, just sitting there in a liquor store. I was like, "What? Wait, what the hell?" I even said that because I was shocked because it's like not something you expect to see in a liquor store. I was like, "What the hell?" And she had like a whole booth. I told the story before. She had like a whole booth and everything. Uh, and her name was even Lady Hennessy, is what they called her. Or what the promoters. She was there promoting Hennessy, sitting there in an evening gown and stuff. And I was like, "Oh crap!" I didn't expect to see that, and I got my water and left. And then later, I knew my neighbor drank. I didn't know if he drank Hennessy or not, but I knew he drank alcohol. Um, and I said, "Hey, you drink Hennessy?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, at the store on such and such and such and such, there's a woman there, and she's I guess they have like discounts or a special on Hennessy." And he says, "Yeah, Lady Hennessy." So people who drink live in like a completely different um culture of liquor, and apparently they go to places like this and get their bottles signed by the whiskey bitch. I don't know.
so what she did before she put this post out there to kind of like explain, she ended up posting another clip of another angle of what took place that day.
Hello, 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 hello. 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 There's bottles. There's what's happening. This is
owner of Blunt Wine.
Nice to meet you.
You've communicated with me, and thank you so much for being personable. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
Peaches.
Every question.
Okay, come
Thank you
on.
so much.
Peaches.
Nice to meet
Okay.
you.
He's gonna put. Okay, we're gonna do. You hold this.
Thank you.
We're gonna put it in the car. Okay. She's got it. She's taking it. She's taking it. Okay. Is this your camera?
No, that's not my
Oh,
camera.
where's your
Nobody has
camera?
my camera. Yeah.
What you got?
Because
Oh.
I am the one from City of Stonecrest. I'm always bothering you, and good friends with Mary and Lily as well.
Oh.
And the mayor couldn't make it today, so she told me I'm her executive assistant. She told me to make sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jay, are we gonna do this? Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, this is not a good look because it seems like everyone there are equal sycophants. Like they're introducing themselves, they're stating how we are connected outside of the fact that I just drink your stuff. Like I don't really need to meet the person that's the CEO of whey protein. I don't. I mean, I'll say what's up and shake his hand if I met him and then tell him like, "Oh yeah, I use your product," but I don't really, need to meet homie like that. Um, so she's behaving different to these women. Let's just start there. We're gonna continue.
Yep. And this is our city attorney.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Very quickly, because I got to get in there.
There we go.
All right.
Good to see
All
you.
right. Yeah. No. Come on. Hello. How are you?
We just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington.
So I'm supposed to remember you because
Do you, Naeem?
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, "Do you remember me?" I said, make it make sense to me. He said we were in the same class in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Jamal, me, you, Naeem, and Sharice.
He's being serious though. Are you being serious?
Yeah, it's worse from this angle. Like, I mean, she's amplifying the humiliation that he's putting to himself. You know, she really is. Like, the moment she started talking about him as if he wasn't there, and he's still explaining himself, trying to jog her memory and trying to jog his suit, you know, he's making black men with beards look foolish. Now, this is a woman that's been married for 21 years. So she has less opportunities to reject men, but she still has that itch. She still has that urge. She's like, you know, this is my opportunity to reject a man who's on the plantation, and I am going to enjoy it to its fullest. I'm going to enjoy this opportunity. Now, remember, she was in a rush, but she's like, you know something? I'm going to take time out to disrespect and reject because he has a beard and he's used to it. Another thing that the beard signals is I've been getting rejected a lot by black women. Hopefully this beard will change my luck.
You're not. I'm sorry. No, I don't remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
Now she's being hyperbolic, unnecessary. Like, I don't remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
Same class.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you. Yo. Hello. Okay. All right. Hello.
One, two, three.
All right. Hello.
Hey there.
Hello. I'm gonna start in the back and get my hugs up to the front.
So people are
Okay. So I'm telling you, they look for signals. They look for signals. Like, this isn't even like a black man thing. She went straight to the one with the beard and just bam, 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 disrespect.
I don't remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
We were in the same class.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you. Yo.
Okay, now she's gonna go to the next homie.
Hello.
I'm out.
Okay. All right. Hello.
Thank you very much. One, two, three.
Yep. Okay, let's just get this. Why in the hell y'all want to? Y'all are weird. People who drink explain this to me. Do y'all need a picture with the person that? Listen, if I met Jack Daniel, if Jack Daniel lived next door to me, I wouldn't know or care. Or am I tripping? Am I tripping?
All right. Hello.
Oh, wait, he's a beard face.
Hello. I'm gonna start.
Wait, is he a beard face or is he an afro face? Let me see.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. Yo. Hello. Okay. All right. Hello.
No, he's just a beard face.
Hello. I'm gonna start in the back and get my hugs up to the front.
So people are bringing bottles, to give to her. People are reminding her of conversations that they've had with her in the past. So everybody is bringing up some kind of connection that they had with this woman in the past to the forefront. So that would have made the gentleman who did that about, elementary school or middle school absolutely no different. So obviously she got wind that things didn't go well. And this is what she had to say about the situation.
Earlier this week, I broke the all-time record for the largest bottle signing in Georgia history. The bottle was by far our highest price point ever in a year.
That's actually a good thing. That's actually a really good thing. That is the largest bottle signing in the history of Georgia. Because I'm not alone in thinking that that's stupid. Like, so, and the fact that that's the largest in the history, and it's only like anywhere between 20 to 50 people there, really says something. It says that the other than the people that were there, most people think that that's stupid. Oh, I'm not alone in that endeavor. Okay. And there's somebody that's been to book signings before.
Here, when the spirits market is trading down, every location we released it at, including DC and Maryland, sold out within an hour. That should have been the story. Instead, the headline became 60 seconds at the start of the night. Before I say anything else, I want to be clear. That moment is mine. I own it. I apologized immediately, and there are parts of it I would handle differently today. Accountability doesn't require perfection.
Okay. You actually didn't apologize immediately. This is what I call, and I want y'all to spread this term, a Will Smith apology. When you're not apologizing because of what you did, you're apologizing because of the way society responded to what you did. Will Smith didn't apologize after it happened. When he accepted his award, he was talking about, I'm King Richard, and some crap like that, and he was owning what he did. And then, he went home and he looked at his Twitter feed and his Instagram feed and his YouTube feed and was like, oh, people think I'm a weird ass nigga and a bully. So now I apologize. Now I'm gonna call Chris Rock and apologize. That's the type of apology she's doing. She looked at the feed and realized, oh, I'm a uppity bitch. I need to apologize before I get canceled like Will Smith.
Requires ownership, and I've taken it. So now let me walk you through that moment. As I stepped out of the car, I was stopped several times for photos. After 4 or 5, I let people know I got to get inside. There are hundreds waiting for me. When I turned, a man I didn't know was standing directly in my path, inches from my face, no smile, no greeting, just a blank stare. He asked,
Okay. And then let me stop before River says her piece, because we might be of the same mind. And that is, no, it don't really appear that that's what happened. I mean, you're trying to make it seem like he popped up out of nowhere and he's creepy and blah 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 blah. I mean, you're surrounded. This is an event. There's people there to see you. That's what's going to happen. And it looks like you walked up to him anyway. And then this whole, I got to get inside. No, you after that. You took pictures with 2 other dudes, and then you said, "Okay, I'm going to start from the back and get my hugs in." So no, miss me with all that, oh no, it was a hysteric. No, you were there to hug and take pictures. And I noticed that you didn't hug and take pictures with him. You were there to hug and take pictures and sign bottles and stuff, and you weren't done yet. But for whatever reason, you decide to single him out and humiliate him.
Before we even move forward towards that, she's obviously talking about from her point of view. We can only sing it from a camera, but
yeah,
that you probably would not have known that were in her path.
asked if I knew him from school more than 35 years ago. He mentioned a middle school and 2 other people. I went to 3 different schools between the 6th and the 9th grade and graduated from a different one entirely. So I was startled. So was everyone around me. Security was close, but I've always asked him to stand back unless I believe I'm in danger. I like to speak to everyone, hug everyone, make people feel seen.
Okay. Um, why does she say that thing? Why did she say that thing? Security was there. You see how she's trying to say imply that she felt endangered? She's trying to imply that. Security was there, but why does that matter? Now she's implying that she felt endangered, but with why is it that you decide to provoke someone that you feel is a threat? Because that's what you did. I thought he was dangerous, so I decided to publicly humiliate him.
So instead of calling security, I tried to move us out of that moment I couldn't fully read, and I did that with a joke. In hindsight, I would have handled that moment completely differently.
All right, let me be honest, okay? Because, I'm with you when you're right. I'm that type of person. I'm with you when you're right. Now, I can understand, the man was talking to her and he's like, hey, do you remember me? She's saying that she went to multiple different schools. So I guess she's basically saying there's no way I could have been in the same class with you 6th, 7th, and 8th grade because I went to 3 different schools in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, right? But apparently maybe the guy mistook the length of time.
No, no. It varies from school district to school district of when junior high start and when high school starts. Um, but no, it's not unusual. Like in many cases, 6th, 7th, and 8th is the last year of elementary school, all of junior high school, and after 8th grade, you go into high school. So that's the 3 schools right there. So if he went to elementary with her and then he went to the same junior high with her, and maybe if she did switch schools in the 8th grade, he still spent the first years of the 8th grade with her. So no, she's trying to she's just trying to justify her mask slipping.
Time, maybe he thought that they went to school maybe once, or maybe he switched schools as well. I'm not sure. But she's basically trying to say that she felt uncomfortable. Now, it's your own prerogative to feel uncomfortable, okay? I'm not saying that she's wrong for feeling uncomfortable or whatever the case is, but immediately.
No one is saying that she's wrong for feeling uncomfortable. I am questioning the authenticity of that feeling. Why? Because people who feel uncomfortable do not tend to provoke and humiliate the object of their discomfort. It would be kind of like Biff saying that he was afraid of George McFly. It's like, yeah, that guy scares me, so I decide to bully him. Who's another person, famous figure that was bullied? I don't know, but I mean, your actions don't really match with your accusations. I felt uncomfortable. So, you want to know what makes me comfortable? Humiliating random people. That's my comfort zone. So, basically, you're telling the world that, hey, not humiliating people is uncomfortable to me.
What she did at that moment moment in time was she made him the brunt of the joke. Okay,
because that's what
regardless,
you do.
whatever it was, if she was deflecting or trying to, for sure,
It wasn't on accident.
somebody who was there in whatever way to support her.
The joke wasn't meant to embarrass him. It was meant to diffuse uncertainty.
How does that diffuse uncertainty? How does that diffuse uncertainty? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you want to diffuse uncertainty, you investigate. How would you investigate in this instance? Like, oh, you went to Monroe? Like, yeah, class of such and such. In fact, he was seeking certainty. Like, he even was like, you was in such and such class. So, I mean, how's that? Because you made it certain that you don't remember, but you're not making it certain that you were not in this class.
Apologized directly. Friends who were with him said he wasn't embarrassed and actually laughed afterward. The video was first posted by a woman who was in close proximity to the exchange with a positive message about how I handled it.
He wasn't embarrassed and he laughed afterwards. That's because he's used to disrespect. And you could tell by his beard. He's used to being disrespected and he's used to being slapped by black women. That's why he grew a beard to cover for cushion. He's used to it. It's kind of like a person being called the N-word and he just laughs it off. He's used to that. He grew up in a situation where that type of degradation is commonplace. So he just laughs. Yeah. He's used to. He's just used to it. That doesn't make it right. And that doesn't make the people who are calling him that bad people. So what if he's used to it? You seen that in him. You seen in him someone that is used to. Probably you did recognize him from junior high. And y'all been doing crap like this to him since forever. You seen in him someone that is capable of being, disrespect, that you could disrespect without consequences, at least from him. You knew that he was the one that would not give you pushback. Because what if you just like Will Smith knew that Chris Rock was the one that wasn't going to slap back? You picked your target. You're a bully. And you picked your fucking target. Because if you would have caught the wrong one, he would have just said, yeah, you were a bitch back then too. And then kept it pushing. I mean, now what? On your big day.
How I stayed more than 4 hours, signing every bottle, taking every picture, spending time with every person who came, then verified it, then online blogs picked it up. And that's when the switch flipped.
Yeah, everything went viral. I mean, it definitely went viral because even if the people who were close to the guy said that he didn't feel any type of way. People felt a kind of way about it. People who watched the interaction felt a kind of way about it. Whether it was her intention or not, it definitely came across very like Hollywood, very uppity, very y'all are beneath me, very, if y'all are supposed to be supporting me, y'all better bow down, whatever. That's the aura that it came off of, that it came off as. Okay. And again, whether that was her intent or not, that's how people received it as. Like, this is very nasty. Like, how dare you, diminish anybody or make anybody feel small when they're coming there to support you. Now, again, I have to double down. I have to say it again. Me personally, if I ever see somebody out, sometimes you can be in like awkward situations because you don't know if the person does know you or doesn't know you, whatever. I completely understand. But again, you made him the brunt of the joke. You did.
No. River TV, she's doing what a lot of these women do, and that's because many women are passive aggressive by nature. But stop trying to say, if I was in that situation, notice she didn't complete that thought because she's trying to play devil's advocate. She's trying to, make this woman seem like not completely terrible. So I'm going to complete the thought for River TV, and then I'm going to put it back on her. River TV, if you were out and let's just say me, a person with a high pitched voice behind a chess piece, came up to you and said, "Hey, River TV, remember me, GameChanger? We was on Chantel Simone's panel together. Do you remember my voice?" And you like, "Hey, I never seen you. I don't know you. The Chantel thing was years ago. And last I heard, she said something about my pokey titties." So, and if she wanted to step back, she could step back because she don't know what I'm about, and that's cool. That's cool. But you wouldn't provoke me. If you thought that I was an unpredictable, creepy weirdo, you would not provoke me because, that's how people actually act when they feel threatened. When they feel empowered, they become aggressive, which is what she did. So that negates everything that she just said. I mean, I know you're trying to, somewhat protect, but no, there's no protection. She's an uppity bitch.
Within minutes, my comments were flooded. Thousands of them. Not disagreement, coordination. I was on a plane when I saw one comment that read, "You better get off these comments, turn them off because we're coming for you." I stayed up all Friday night, not so much as a nap. By the time I arrived at Chats in DC for that bottle signing, I'd been awake for 34 hours. One of the reasons they call me the People CEO is because I respond to every DM and every comment. I always have. So I started clicking profiles. There were numerous accounts calling for me to be canceled or boycotted. The majority had no posts or only a handful, none of them personal. Most were private. Almost all were following more people than followed them. They didn't look organic to me.
Now, the thing is, she's saying that she saw the people who wanted to cancel her the most were not people who she felt like had real or organic pages, and that they followed more people than followed them, or whatever the case is. Sometimes people be on a burner account. Okay, a burner account is an account that you have that nobody don't know is really you, and you be up under them telling people how you really feel because you don't want people to track it down to your actual account. And I feel like that's kind of what she was saying, because there was even celebrities who were in the comments calling her out. You have other people who maybe felt similarly, didn't want you to know who they are, and were doing the same thing.
It looked coordinated. And to be clear, I know some real people disagreed with me. That's fair. Thousands of real people also commented, sharing years of positive interactions with me. But you didn't see those comments, not because they weren't there, but because they resolved the tension. The resolution doesn't trend. Over the last 24 hours, I've had people reaching out with encouragement and support, and I appreciate it. But y'all, I've been good. Not because I didn't feel the weight of the moment, but because I understand something that's easy to miss online. What I'm about to explain doesn't erase my mistake. It explains what happened after and why I'm sharing it now. This is Nightcap with Fawn Weaver, where I strip away the drama and the politics, add truth, history, and
Holy crap. God, this bitch is obnoxious. Now she's promoting her show, or this is Nightcap with Weaver, or whatever that was. Oh, like everybody who's against me is a bot. You're a Russian bot. Wow. This is making my head hurt. I'm willing to bet that her husband, who's never there for like her wine sign or her whiskey signings and stuff, do not enjoy her company. She's easy on the eyes, but he and probably thick on the thighs, but he do not enjoy her company. So he just kind of like let her loose onto the world wide web, and he's just happy that she found something else as an outlet for this foolishness. I'm willing to bet that, like after everything is said and done, he don't want to hear about her day. He's happy that she is telling the world about her day so he don't have to hear her. And he just wait for the clothes to come off at night. Like, and that's how they survived 21 years. She's really obnoxious. Don't feel bad for the husband. I mean, as long because he don't feel bad for her. He don't feel he oh excuse me. He don't feel bad for everyone else. Like, it's like, okay, she found an additional outlet to get rid of this foolishness. It's kind of like an abusive wife or an abused wife whose husband found somebody else to smack. She's like, "Oh, that's a relief." He's taking boxing classes or something like that. It's like, that's a good thing. He would be whooping my ass. So it's like that. It's he's like, listen, she found somewhere else to go with her foolishness. Look at the look on River's face.
A little bit of hope, sir. Straight up, no chaser. When people hear the word bots, they think of a few fake accounts. That's outdated. On Instagram and Facebook alone, estimates suggest up to 500 million accounts are automated or fake. These networks often target high-profile African American.
Yeah, okay. And that's so people take time out to make bots calling you a bitch. It's not that I'm a bitch, it's just that anybody who thinks it just so happens to be a bot. Holy crap.
Public figures because racialized outrage travels faster, provokes stronger emotion, and fractures audiences more efficiently. That's algorithm gold. Many of these networks aren't even based in the United States. They're run overseas where it's cheap to operate and easy to regenerate accounts. That's why the profiles look empty, why the bios don't track, why the math never makes sense. Bots don't understand reality. They scrape language, they mimic tone, they miss context. These accounts can like, comment, repost, DM, and trigger algorithms the same way humans do.
Okay, so she's trying.
Wow. Do I know bots exist? Yes. I mean, when y'all see like I have 200 and something thousand live viewers, those are bots. Something strange is happening. If they were to, collectively fill the chat with "Game Changer, you're a moron," then I would probably be a moron. "Game Changer, you're an asshole," it's probably because I'm an asshole. "Game Changer, you're a nerd," it's probably because I'm a nerd. Like, what the fuck? Like, it couldn't be me. It reminds me of I don't know why this came to my mind just now, but it reminds. Oh, I know, because I was watching it during Christmas. I was watching it on at a friend's house for Christmas. Um, uh, the new edition. My brain's messing up. Hold up. New editions, Mr. Telephone Man. with Bobby Brown. Um, and the song goes for you younger cats. Um, Mr. Telephone Man. By the way, a telephone is like a cell phone, but it's connected to a house or a shelter of some sort. It's actually plugged into the wall, and you can't take it places, and it's not smart. So that's what a telephone is. So there's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. So it's not that the chick is ghosting you. It's not that she's doing the 80s equivalent to ghosting you. It's that something's wrong with your line. And it's not that people online don't think that you're a stuck up bitch. This is bots. There's something wrong with your line. Because when I look at my comment section, I get dissed every time. So yes, it's you. It's you. You are a despicable, unliked person. Shout out to the Simpson, Mr. Burns. He was walking through a neighborhood one day, and they said somebody said, "Aren't you that guy that everybody hates?" He said, "No, I'm Mr. Burns." I was like, "That's her." I am not a bot, and I fucking despise you.
To say that basically she felt like this was a target. Okay, she felt like people use or I don't know if she's saying companies or whatever, but bots were introduced into the conversation to kind of like change the narrative based off of
No,
what she.
listen, I don't have to read your comment section to have my opinion of you. You did some foul shit, and you had to be told by others that it was foul. And even then, you're saying that people don't think it's foul. It only bots think it's foul.
Actually went to the venue for. So instead of all of the great things and the highlight of the signing and all of that being at the forefront of the conversation, it was this person humiliates man, blah 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 blah. That's what she's saying.
So when something moves fast, it's not always people reacting. It's systems responding to momentum. Bots didn't create the moment, they amplified it. A bot can't cancel you, but it can make one mistake or one unfortunate moment feel like the entirety of your life.
Now, this is the thing, okay? Because
listen, it is the entirety of your life. I mean, okay, let's just say that bots existed in this instance, and it triggered the algorithm. Now more people know what a bitch you are. But I mean, like, make no mistake, we know. Like, I mean, River probably wouldn't have seen it if the bots didn't drive the algorithm. But her conclusion is sound, and so is mine. Provided that this is a result of botting.
We have to, know, be real. She said that they can't create the moment or whatever, but they can highlight it. But I understand what she's, when it comes to her discovery about certain things and how that who Nearest Green was and her, due diligence on how things were covered up historically. I understand all of that. But nobody made you react that way to that gentleman that was there.
True.
Nobody made
Thank
you do that. Even
Thank you. I like your nails too. But River, she's spitting facts.
if the gentleman himself was sent, nobody caused you to react that way. You said that was your reaction based off of you, I guess, feeling startled, in the moment. Okay. And you took that moment to create a joke, make him the brunt of the joke, bring everybody into the joke instead of maybe handling that moment differently, what you said that you should have. So nobody would have been able to capitalize on that moment or, create this domino effect of a story if you did not behave in that manner with a person of your own background. Just keeping it real.
So next time you see a takedown, click the profiles. If they're bots, post one positive comment and move on. Don't argue.
No, no, fuck you. Okay, so she obviously studied marketing in college. What she fears is the bandwagon effect. And what that is people see a group of other people doing something or buying something or growing something like a beard, and they got to get it too because it's a trending thing. She's saying that the bots are trying to trigger a trend and to go against her, but that is not real. That the way people are feeling is not real. It's like, listen, I don't need to read your comment section to have my opinion about you. I don't. In fact, I didn't read your comment section. I didn't even go to your Instagram. I mean, yes, River TV gave her opinion, but River TV, she gave the opinion of you after she played the clip. She started off with the clip, and I already had my thoughts on that. And after that, it was just like River TV sharing it. You see this, like at the bottom, like this is you already doing what you did before she did her whole River TV intro and said what she had to say. I already had my opinion by then. It's not influenced by others. Like nobody here. I don't have to give my commentary. Everybody know the type of person you are.
With a machine. They respond negatively for one reason only: engagement. As for me, if the young man responds, I'll directly contact with him and follow his lead on what it takes to make it right. And as for you, don't let machines take down people.
It takes a blowjob. Oh, that's why y'all was saying that in the chat room. Yeah, it would take a ATM. Now, would I request one? No, because I don't mess with married women. But I think for him, that's what it would take.
You know don't deserve it. Support them more in these moments, not with comments, but with
And if you don't know what ATM means, watch more porn.
action, their businesses, their brands, their music, their movies, or in this case, clear the shelves. Whatever tells the world humans still run this joint. Machines, you can take a seat.
This bitch just tried. She just said clear the shelves. She used this as an opportunity to sell her shit. She's like, if you wanna show them bots, you need to clear the shelves. I have never bought whiskey in my entire freaking life. Have I bought drinks for people before? Yes. Has it ever been whiskey? No. And I have alcohol. I have alcohol for company. And it's not whiskey. I've never bought your shit. And I never will.
I love y'all. I appreciate you. Every person who came out and said, we know Fawn Weaver, the tens of thousands who have had interactions with over the last 8 years. I am so grateful that.
Okay. River's saying stuff. So after all is said is done, she's like, join me in clearing the shelves. This is spectacular. All right, let me read. Shout out to River TV, but I think she's done with the the well, maybe not. Let's finish her off.
People are going to find out who you are. I never heard this woman's name before, ever in my life. I never heard nothing at all. It was because of this situation that it also, the same way that you're getting negative press and people who are calling to cancel you, is the same way that people are also going to do their due diligence and find out who you are and say, who is this? And how come, this, and how come that, and how come it's going to cause, probe people to ask questions. So you got to take both sides of it. Okay. And I believe, just in my personal opinion, she is talking about, the stuff that she experienced and the box that she's experienced and all of that. But I also just kind of feel like, this whole conversation that she had right now would have hit differently if she separated the videos. And that's my personal opinion. If she came to the forefront and said, y'all, that was my bad. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I was startled, whatever the case is. And I should not have said that, period. I shouldn't have said it. Shouldn't have did it. That was humiliating. Even if he didn't feel humiliated, if that was me, I would have felt some type of way. Look.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a matter of how he felt. It's a matter of how you acted. You see, and somebody said just like a black woman, they really are on that ish. And the fact it was a black man that said that stupid crap on BMT's show talking about, um a woman should be able to slap a man because it doesn't really hurt. If you're a real man, it don't hurt. Like, listen, it's not a matter of if it hurts or not. It's not a matter of how I feel. It's a matter of how she feels. She feels it's okay to slap a man. Which is just ridiculous. So, no, you gave us some insight into your brain. And what we found is a deplorable human being. And you don't even realize like how to get out of it. Like you don't even realize to, I mean, I guess the best way, if I was your PR agent, I would say, like it was a joke. It was meant to be lighthearted, but it really didn't hit very well. Um, you know, Largely because he wasn't laughing with it, with me. But really, the joke was supposed to be more so that I'm old and I don't remember stuff from that long ago. The joke was supposed to be on me, but then it came off as on him. But that would have been like your only out. And I'm a smart man. And that's the only out I could think of that I would actually be able to say, okay, I could see that. I could see that. If I wanted to tell a joke saying, like, man, I don't remember nothing. Like this person say, I remember you from such and such. I don't remember anything from them days. Like that would be how I was attempting to, but it came off a lot different. That would be my way out. But she just doubled down, and yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Wow. All right, let me finish this.
Looking back, hindsight, I was trying to go inside, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then have a whole different conversation talking about what she experienced with bots. I think it would fly over smoothly, because I think this only doubles down that it's like you more care about how you're seen or what people think about you based off of, awards and all that, more than how another person would feel. That's just my opinion.
And to the young man, once again, if you were embarrassed in any way.
And again, I don't think the verbiage should be if you were embarrassed. I think the verbiage should be, young man, I could see that this would have humiliated you, and regardless of if you were embarrassed or not, I really want to make this right, because that was never my intention. I think that should be not if, like, oh, well, if he wasn't embarrassed, then who cares? Like, I don't think that should be it.
Shape or form. I apologize. God.
Imagine if Will Smith said this. And I use that analogy because this just parallels it so much. Imagine if Will Smith said that. Hey, if that slap hurt, I apologize. To Chris Rock, hey, if that slap hurt you, I apologize. What? So you're only sorry if it hurt?
Bless you. Cheers.
I mean, a couple things come to mind. Apologize. She would have apologized if she didn't get negative backlash for it.
Of course
I just
not.
wonder. I wonder if this would have even been a conversation.
Of course not. Once again, that's another way that it parallels Will Smith. Would he apologize if he didn't get negative backlash? You know, like if everybody was out there saying, "Yeah, way to keep it G," way to protect your wife. If society had said that, would Will Smith have apologized? And the answer is no, because his apology was insincere, just like hers.
If that
She's so caught apologizing while advertising her liquor. Like, look at this. Like, that's some good whiskey, and I apologize. So clear the shelf because we're having a apology sale. And for every 1,000 bottles sold, I will give him another apology. This bitch is awful.
about it in blogs that pick it up. Like, I wonder if she would have the same feeling. I wonder if she's only
like revealing too much of who you are. When you're on top, the only thing that can take you down is revealing too much of who you are when you are something that is despicable. Like Elon, like beginning of the year, Tesla sales was through the roof. He was looked at as this, intelligent businessman you know, who's trying to colonize Mars and bring the scientific community to blah 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 blah. And then he does a sig how on the stage on the world stage, and he loses all of his sales in Europe, like and domestically. And the more he shows about himself, the worse Tesla sales get. It's like, wow, you really know how to fuck up a good thing, don't you? And so do you whiskey bitch.
Again, I don't know her at all. I just now got to know some kind of backstory about who this woman is. And based off of my research, I think she's done amazing things. I think she's done great things. I think she's brought a lot of things to the forefront. I think she's even pushed the lever forward as a Black person and Black woman coming into, the whiskey industry and kind of dominating. I think those are all amazing things. But you can never feel like you're bigger than the program. Okay. And I think that's what the conversation is leading forward, that a lot of people just wanted to come to the forefront. I don't think people are, I know people did want her canceled. I know people were saying, stop buying that stuff. I heard people saying it and I saw people saying it. But I think, above all else, I think people just don't want you to ever feel like you're bigger, like I said, than the program. And the program being the people who support you 100%. Now, she took accountability. She did apologize.
I don't classify that as an apology.
She did say that she's trying to make it right directly with the person. All the above, she did put it out there. Whatever.
You gotta suck his dick, and you gotta do it, while he's wearing a Burger King crown, um, on camera. Like that's the only way. Yeah, you can make shit like this right.
Whatever the case is, the only thing that people could do at this point now is move forward. Because what else you gonna do? Like what else? What else she supposed to do at this point? She did everything. She took ownership. All the above.
She's supposed to suck his dick.
I don't know. I like some of you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this.
All right, shout out to River TV. All right, let's cover some more of this. See what you have to say. GC, he did know her. She talked about it on her podcast and made fun of him because of his photos. Yeah, I do remember her saying something like that. And he's talking about L'Oreal and Michael B. Jordan situation. So yeah, in that case, I guess you're right. And she's a complete, she's just like a awkward, funny shaped bitch anyway. Like, so yeah, who thinks she hot because she light skinned? That's because Ebony K. Williams, like, we light skinned it. We should be getting the top of the top. And I was laughing my ass off. Like, okay. So yeah, Michael B. He handled that perfectly then. I heard the same story. All right, let's see. Only NPCs don't remember. Prove me wrong. Huh? Only NPC. Okay. She did call him corny. Okay, fair enough. Michael Jackson took some stuff from Frankie Wilson. Maybe. I don't know. Um, I don't know who Frankie Wilson is. I know that Michael Jackson started his career at a very young age, and I know that dances are dances. Like, sometimes they come from elsewhere. Do I think his moves were original when he was what, 5? Fuck no. Okay. Here comes standards with every model of this for MBJ. Yeah, that's was pretty much assumed. Yeah. But no, you were talking about you was talking about dude, homie with the beard. Yeah. She's married, surprise, but he could be a beta cuck, so not saying much. Or he could, I mean, nah, he could just be on some Sigma stuff and like, you know, I stay out of it as long as she, focus her foolishness to the world and not to me. Yeah, I got you. University of Alabama. She went to A&G, A&M, unless she went to A&M. Okay, didn't Forrest Gump go there? I thought the title of the video said Weaver Weaver. Let's see what the title of the video says. Flawn Weaver. No, no, she said Flawn Weaver. She just said her name. She looks like Arsenio Hall talking about homie's wife. Yeah, that was a hard looking woman. Say that much. All right. Guys back then weren't so much on baddies unless they wanted a red bone back then. No, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I see like some of those old timey pictures, and a lot of the women who are not red bone look very attractive. His wife just so happened to not be one of them. I'm not gonna fault him, and I'm not gonna say he should be out looking for bad ones because I understand that. Um, there's little mobility there. Like, you come from a town, there's 100 people in a town, half of them are white and therefore off limits. And the other half is your cousin. So it's like fuck it. All right. And they wonder why all of us get money and get different bitches, different addresses, different attitudes, and so on. Yep. All right, y'all talking about homie's wife. All right, let me stop. That's somebody's great grandma. Let me stop. All right. It says a dude could actually call her mid in an argument. She ain't all that. I think that for her age, if you're talking about the whiskey bitch, she is pretty in a community where 80% of the women are fat. And if that's her natural eye color, that does boost it up because it gives a contrast to her skin color. So I'd give her an above mid, but it's nothing like spectacular. Like I'm gonna forget her very very soon. Um, like completely. Unlike dude, I just am. To answer the prompt, yes. Yeah, it was a rhetorical question. The ones that look good, I mean. Oh, okay. You're following up on something else. All right, let's see. It says young white girls in college, 18 to 22, are actually just as sexy as sisters who look good at that age. And so you're saying that white girls and black girls are equally attractive at 18 and 22, if I'm interpreting what you're saying right. And um, hmm, no. And it's not because I have a racial bias towards white women, because I don't. But I'm just going to call it as I see it. And due to obesity and poor hair care rituals, um, they actually are less attractive. Um, However, when those things are omitted, and black women win by far, like not even close. So basically, when you're talking about like, if you take a black woman with the same diet, exercise, and hair care routine, not the same hair care routine, but the same effort towards hair care as a non-black woman, the black woman wins like drastically. Like Stacey Dash was drastically more attractive than I think that was Reese Witherspoon. No, that wasn't Reese Witherspoon. Then whoever that was in Clueless with her. And Stacey Dash was like 30 at that time. So yeah, due to laziness, they're just not. But it's not a function of genetics. It's just a function of, not maximizing their potential and letting other groups surpass them as a result of that. So yeah, that's what happened there. Must be like sneakerheads. This limited edition signed by the person on the display. Yeah, no, Michael. If Michael Jordan signed a pair of Jordans, I get it, but that's not what's going on here. And I noticed that the people there didn't even have like a whiskey bottle to sign. They just wanted to get a picture with a whiskey bitch. That was weird. Drink your stuff is crazy. Like, stop trying to read innuendos and stuff that don't really exist. She's so funny though. Absolutely, I agree. It says she may have gotten offended to think bro was trying to holler. Well, I mean, once again, if you look at the title of the video, she enjoys rejecting men. So yes, that is what she was feeling. Like this feels like a pickup line, and this is what I do when guys try to pick me up. Like this is what I do. I reject them. I don't get to reject guys often at this age and being married. However, and because I walk around with security guards. However, you know, when I make the most of every rejection opportunity that I get. So yes, she did enjoy that. She may have gotten offended because she okay. All right, let's see. I'm not surprised that she ran the company into the ground. So people keep saying that. So somebody send me links and evidence in my Gmail because I seen Chaos Rain said that she was bankrupt too. So men go for the beard to take eyes away from the receding hairline. I noticed that. I noticed that the guys, like I never seen a guy with an afro on his head and on his face. And also never seen like a full, old school Busta Rhyme dreadhead type dude with an afro face either. So yeah, I think you might be onto something. Like there's a correlation between um none up top, all up bottom. But really what a beard signifies is that you want to fuck Courtney Michelle, according to her. I'm not even gonna get into that one. That shit was hilarious. She must be ran through. You gotta get a grip of dick to not remember your formative years. I No, that's not true. Because um and if you take the gay stuff aside, there like it was a dude, he said, "Hey, I know you from somewhere," and this wasn't in Oakland. He's like, "You from the town?" Which is a way of saying Oakland. I was like, "Yeah," and I didn't remember him for nothing. And so what I do in situations like that is I just listed like this is my elementary, this is my junior high, and this is my high school. And I give them the years and we see what happens. And it turns out it was elementary. I'm like, man, that's hey, you got a good memory. Like he's just one of those people. He's dapped it up like, okay, that's what's up. Like, okay, you went to this junior high. See, I didn't go there, and chatted it up for a second. But um, some people just have it like that. Some people, I mean, I didn't have a goatee. I didn't have a goatee in elementary, so he has an ability. I do not. There has to be like a reason for me to remember somebody. And that reason doesn't necessarily have to be like that person is extremely attractive or something like that. That reason could be that this person had like an interesting name, you know. Like this person's name was Derek Daverson or something like that. Like I don't know. His name was Eric Erickson, you know. So yeah, if it's something like that, I'll remember. But um yeah. I, there's a lot of people that I just didn't remember. There's no receding hairline. He's gone Squidward, Megamind, bald. Yeah, I mean, he's at a bald age, and she sounds like a radio DJ or a reporter. Yeah, well, she actually did say something like that too. She was like, and this is Whiskey Talk TV or some crap like that. She may have found out that dude is someone who knows someone. Nah, she just the public, the people have spoken. If you think someone is weird, do you try to publicly humiliate them? I mean, I don't really get a thrill from publicly humiliating people. And it says something about her that she does, or at least not people who didn't do anything. Like, I mean, of course, people have like friend or foe categories, and the rules that apply to friends don't necessarily apply to foes. But he wasn't a foe. He hasn't did anything to make himself a foe. So, yeah. We as Black FBA folks know someone who knows someone, so stuff can get back to you. Yeah. Austin is the new Socrates. What, a philosopher of some sort? Um, that's the I'm sorry you felt that way. Yeah, exactly. Which is the most disingenuous apology that there is next to I'm sorry I'm not perfect. Which, yeah, these are fake apologies. I was scared for my life, Your Honor. Yeah, I mean, how long do they think stuff like this is gonna work on people? Like if I'm scared of John Jones, like I was scared of John Jones, so I smacked him. Like, okay. And I talked about his beard. My bad. Just listen to me. Don't listen to other people when I'm live. If dude had a suit on and looked like an actor or a model, she would have said, "Oh, you did? What's your name?" No, that would just be like more of a thrill of rejection. Like, yeah, I rejected this fine ass nigga with a suit on. Cause remember, K Michelle, ain't nothing like shooting down a popping nigga. The lack of accountability. Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, phone ran out of battery. All right. Let's see. I'm now intrigued by these SP called. Oh, I guess I mean so-called pokey titties. Yeah, she got some small pokies. Yeah, I like them. They look firm and stuff. I mean, I never seen her with her clothes off. I'm just saying from what I seen. All right. It says, imagine being married to her. She must be either a major alpha dude or a beta cut. Yeah, she's a lush, bro. I mean, she's a fucking whiskey woman. Like, she sounds like Ebony K. Yeah, exactly. They all on that dizzy bitch shit. I'm sorry, but I feel bad for her husband. Yeah, I do too. I wonder if they have kids. Um, she not throwing. Um, she's not throwing good. The wine lady doing. She's not doing good. Comma the wine lady. She's in bankruptcy. Yep, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Black women are adept at faking it till you make it. You know, appearing to be more successful than they are. They do it on a macro level, meaning like they try to make black women appear, the collective of black women appear more successful than they are, and they also try to make the individuals look more successful than they are. That's just what they do, and that's because they feel that their physical attraction is is tied to their income, so they lie about their income to be more attractive. Plus, well, banging her. Okay. Is stationary to a single or multifamily dwelling or to an office. Yeah. Tied to an address. Yeah. It's always Jabat's fault. Yeah, exactly. I don't know who that is. Did you cover Jordine Pauline? No. No, let me look who up. Let me look up who that is. Oh, I don't listen to modern music. She's a music person. I don't listen to modern music. What, she do something? Something happened with her? Till James. I don't know who the Chaos. You know I don't listen to modern music. What the hell? I don't know who these people are. Yeah, I don't know who they are or what they're going through. So the short answer is no. I don't. I haven't covered. She would have gotten more love and appeared more human if she just apologized for the situation tactfully. Yeah, if it was a sincere apology. Double Down just made her look heartless. She is heartless. She don't know how to. She don't know how to do stuff like regular people. Like bitches don't know how to not look like bitches. Like that's just part of who they are. Made her look more like a black woman. Okay. He probably buy her wine because she's a classmate or her whiskey. But I noticed that the people who are there at a because like when you go to a book signing, you buy the book and the author signs it. Unless it's Obsidian and nobody buy that shit. But I mean, like generally, it's like the dictionary. But generally speaking, you buy the book and the author signs it. That's how that goes. But nobody bought like a bottle of her whiskey at her own whiskey event. I noticed that. I thought it was a little weird. She didn't look scared. That's because she wasn't scared. That's just her attempting to tap into a man's desire to protect. Hey yo, D Scott, I was trying to avoid saying that, but you were reading my mind though. Yeah. She's going to get more sales and publicity. Any publicity is a good publicity. No, it's not. And that's why I brought up Elon Musk. Is he getting more sales? Come on now. Anybody who thinks that way has never been canceled or don't know what cancel is. Is Will Smith selling more movie tickets? All right. Let's see. I'm going to filter these out a bit. Let's see. Aren't they close in age if they went to school together? I assume so. Yeah. Well, they were in the same class. Yeah. So yeah. What's her name? I don't know who her is. Let's see. Chris Rock wasn't thinking. He could have slapped back, and security would have come and break it up. Well, he's not a man that's been slapped often. I mean, I can't really, you know, um, I don't think I was ever slapped as an adult. Oh yeah, I was by this chick. That's a story I'll tell on movie night or in members only. Sign up for members only. But yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not something that you like think through. Like, so I had a lapse in judgment, and you didn't deserve. Yeah, okay, I see that. You come to support me, and I treated you as a crazy fan instead of for someone who um, walked the same streets I did. My apologies. Yeah, I agree. And that would have sounded sincere, you know. But she probably would do that with a glass of whiskey in her hand, with the label pointed at the camera. But yeah, because she can't do shit like that, right? Uh, no, just a salute. He put some stank on it too. Not just a salute. He put some stank on it too. Talking about Elon Musk, yeah, and he did it twice, and it's like, oh crap, you know. Um, all right, so that was that was you. Anyway, it says this is easy work. The girls are coming back. I don't know what that means. Black women are better at gaslighting than Chinese people are at kung fu. Yeah. No, she didn't take accountability. Exactly. What are you laughing at? All right, let's see. She didn't. Well, yeah, and he said his name too. He was like steady trying to introduce himself. I mean, like he reeked of desperation and stuff, and she just kind of like time warped back into when she was young and rejecting niggas, and they had that whole desperate, really trying to break the ice feel about them, and she went into that mode. That's what it was. He did have that I'm trying to get at you, swag about him. Um, you know, like I'm trying to break the ice. Hey, we went to junior high together and trying to strike up a dialogue and blah blah blah, where everybody else was just like, let's take a picture. So he did have that. And she just went into what her muscle memory told her to do, and that is to degrade and humiliate and reject them. It's okay, no shade, of course. All right. When people say that, it's usually shade. Motown dance teachers gave Michael moves too. Yes, I mean, I don't. Yeah, okay. Alicia Silverstone. Who's that? Isn't she like an old white woman? What's good? Oh, y'all talking to each other. Okay, gotcha. All right, I'll leave that alone. All right, it says she's the one that's accusing the one named Teely of great it on YouTube. Okay. No, I didn't cover it. I didn't know about it, Chaos. But thanks for sharing. Thanks for giving me ideas. It says, "Are black women supposed to accept every man who approaches them?" Question mark. Maybe black women uh, get out to just go about their day and live their lives like everyone else. Okay. All right. And I'm assuming that this is someone who is watching the video from the beginning and is defending the stance on that. Where at the time I was talking about a comment where a woman was like, do black women have to talk to everyone or give everyone their number, the time of day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? See, what you're doing is you're being disingenuous to a tremendous degree, you know, um, because we're not talking about day to day situations. Okay. Um, Black women wake up and they get off of work. They put on their most form-fitting dresses. They put on their best makeup. They put on their best lip gloss. They put on their best wig, and they put on their longest fake lashes, just so they can go to an event and venue to reject somebody. Now, as a natural reaction to disinterest, there's nothing wrong with rejection. There is something mentally, what's the word I'm looking for? Fucked about a person who prepares to reject. It would be the equivalent to somebody who is fighting is something that a person should do if and when it's necessary. However, if a person is going out looking for confrontation, like I'm going to walk through this crowd in a straight line, and if somebody bumps into me, I'm swinging, then that person is a psychopath or a sociopath. I don't know. But there's something that begins with the letter S and ends with the word path. They're one of those things. Why are you assuming that they are rejecting everyone? Where is your proof? Holy crap. it really doesn't matter if they're rejecting everyone or not. The point is that they're getting satisfaction from the rejection. Come on up. Let's have this out because this is the topic of the conversation. Oh, and by the way, if you use tactics like, placing a burden of proof, especially when it comes to attempting to prove a negative or someone's intent on me, that's not going to work. I am not going to try to prove observable reality. But I will say this. The single rate of Black American women is evidence enough that they are not embracing anyone, or else they wouldn't be so damn single. Come on up. All right. Because we're men and we see and experience it, disingenuous piece of shit. Okay, let's see. I'm a white man married to a beautiful Black American woman. I approached her and she was open to me. Black males. All right. And you're gone. Hold on. I haven't banned somebody in a very long time. Somebody ban this nigga. Oh, wait. Before you get banned, before you ban him, understand why you're getting banned. It's not because I find your situation, offensive or anything like that, or because you're with a Black woman. I want to be clear why I'm doing this. You called yourself a white man and you referred to Black men as Black males. Fuck you, you're banned. All right. Um, moving on. The marriage rate is proof, yes, to Black, white, or otherwise. I agree. Uh, especially their marriage rate. Um, especially their marriage rate is proof. Yes, absolutely. I had my finger on the trigger. I don't know why, because I rarely block people. I mean, I rarely block people, but for somebody who is so brain twisted to say I am a white man, and when Black males do something, what the fuck was that? Nope, you're blocked. Ah, here we go. I can do it from StreamYards. Okay, there we go. Yep. It did. It really did. Um, and once again, I'm not going to try to like prove or disprove a negative, but it really did sound like that. Ah, it's annoying. I swear. And the fact that their name is like YouTuber, and looks like a small yid after that after that, it really seems like this person gets blocked and banned a lot, you know. Like they're like YouTuber 1 2 3 4, and then next they're gonna come back with YouTuber 1 2 3 4 5. So yeah. This is one of those bots that she was talking about. It's foolishness. Ah, and it really does show the desperation of what's going on here. And now let's just take what you're saying as truth, and that this is a Black woman cosplaying as a white man in order to what exactly? In order to what exactly? Well, I could tell you what that person would be doing. They're here to try to make Black men feel rejected. You see, none of you actually tried to get at this person. In fact, she probably isn't really approached often in real life. So she don't get many opportunities to reject a guy. So what does she do? She comes on and says, "Oh yes, I'm a white man and my black wife rejected black men to get with me. So you black men should feel rejected." You see the psychosis that goes on with bitches like this. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? You see it. It's like a new level of pathetic. And I would still have the conversation if it wasn't for this whole man male thing, like, which is fuck that. But yes, it is. It's obvious that's how they get their get off. I mean, it's two pronged. One reason that they do it is for their own ego. The second reason that they do it is to diminish the black man's ego. Rest assured, these ugly broads know that confident men don't fuck with them. So they try to diminish your confidence. It's as simple as that. Hit the like button if you're new here and subscribe. Like, it's what game niggas do. They call it negging. You know, um, they call it negging because they're neggers. Like they say something bad about a woman, hoping to deflate their ego, and somehow from that she'll fuck you. You walk up to a pretty woman and say, "Hey, I like your hair, but how come your eyebrows don't match the color?" And according to game niggas, they're supposed to say, "Okay, I'll suck your dick now." Like, yeah, okay. Hold on. Let's see. The things they do for attention. It's not just attention, but yeah. All right, I got something to show y'all. This actually came up by mistake just now, but young boy spitting knowledge, so I'm gonna share it with you. Spitting wisdom.
Women decline very quickly when they reject a good man, y'all. I want y'all to understand something. When a woman rejects a good man that could have possibly been her husband and helped her out, and which is good for the woman, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the women typically always decline. Have you guys ever noticed that? Say, for instance, your ex or someone, a woman you was dating for, a little period of time, you really liked her, but she just ghosted you. Have you ever noticed that when you see her again, after a long time, she does not look all right. She looks bad, or you look on her social media or something, and she just doesn't look how she looked when.
Okay, what he's saying isn't like sage wisdom. The fact that he's saying it speaks volumes. It's like, dude, you are 11 years old. Like, what in the fuck do you know about decline? They are declining that quick? They are declining that quick? You are literally like 12 teen. What in the hell? What in the hell is going on? They are declining that quick. Like, how long has he been an adult? This is madness. This is madness. This is interesting.
You had her. She looks like she's went downhill.
I always understand something. When women reject these good men, when women are rejecting good men, they go to these guys that mean no good for them. They don't want to help the woman improve. They don't want to see that woman shine. They're only bringing the woman down. And the woman likes that because she's like that as well. But she will certainly start to realize that that guy who really was good for her, and she just ghosted him or whatever, she will start to see a decline in herself. And you will see it too. Just look at these women that you used to deal with that ghosted you or did you wrong, something like that.
What do you mean used to live? How old are you? What do you mean used to? Jesus. It's this remind me of those YouTube shorts where they do and it'll be like a baby. They use AI and it's a baby talking shit. That's what it looks like here. It's like, what the fuck? Like it had to have been like 3 days since you broke up with the broad, or she declined you, and then she declined herself. Jesus, how quick has this happened? This is interesting. Unless he's one of those people that age very slow. Uh, cause why is he talking like a 35-year-old that got shot down in college and then came across her and she was like on some Roseanne looking shit. Like, what the fuck?
And she left you for maybe a worse guy than you, a bad boy, whatever. Look at how she is. You know what I'm saying? As the time going, as time just steady keep rolling, she's going to go into a decline, man. And that's why these women be coming back, because they realize they made a mistake, but it's too late by then. You know what I'm saying? Women learn the hard way instead of the easy way. Make sure you like this video. I'm out. Women decline.
Oh, wow. It's the age though. It's the age that gets me. It's he is a very young dude. So it's not really looking good for a young dude. I- it's not. And for young women because he's experienced so much in his very short life that he's up on game. Like he's up on game too much to really get duped like that. Okay, so for example, when I was his age, right? Um, I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about a woman's decline. When I was his age and I was messing with women, my own age, I wasn't thinking about if I marry this girl, I will improve and she will decline. I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking like I'm going to improve economically and she's going to decline in her looks. I wasn't even I was like, damn, she fine. She got that skill though. Like I was really on that. So the fact that he is thinking like a man who is, so much older means that they're gonna have trouble seducing him. And likely other guys his age. Wow. That is that's saddening. That's saddening to see. And it's funny as hell. Someone said I'm gonna remain single forever. I hope not. But anything's possible. I mean, the future is unpredictable. All right, so I'm gonna do another show. I'm gonna do a follow up on this whole Floyd something Jr. Situation because Now you got Skylar talking about he's left Brazil and he's back. He's back in Texas. I could tell by the background, and he's never coming back. So, which is I find shocking. So I'm definitely going to do a follow up on that. And outside of that, I want to thank everybody that participated. I want you to hit the like button on your way out. Want to thank the members and those who participate in the show. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.